Yeah.
You ready? Very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Carter Field here at Vardaman, Mississippi. This will be the setting for tonight's confrontation, which will be featuring the Rams of Vardaman hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. Along this evening with us with our play-by-play is David Barnett. David, I believe, is going to go over the starting lineup for the Calhoun City Wildcats.
Thank you, Mitchell. I believe I'll go over that. And by the way, I'm sorry I missed last week's game. You told me today that last week was a real good, exciting game.
It was a thriller there at D.L. Harrison Field. Sure was.
So I'm going to go over the Calhoun City Wildcats at this time. Starting out, number 1, Corey Vance. He's a quarterback, 175 pounds. He's a 12th grader. Number 10, Matt Knight. Split end, 140. He's a senior. Number 18, Marcus Jennings. Split end, 155 pounds, and he is a freshman. Number 22, Kevin Langford. Tailback, 175, 12th grader. Number 34, Keith Pittman. Be a tailback, 150 pounds, and he is a junior. Number 44, Bobby Kilgore, tight end, 190 pounds, and he's a junior. Number 62, Jeff Harmon, center, 225 pounds, and he's a senior. Number 66, Sean Cannon, he's a guard, 220 pounds, sophomore. Number 68, Mickey Cannon, guard, 185 pounds, and he's a sophomore. Number 72, Tim Evans. He's a tackle, 285 pounds. He's a senior. And number 76, Jarvis Graham, tackle, 250 pounds, junior. The coaches for the Calhoun City Wildcats is Rudy Pope, head coach, Keith Downs, assistants. Band director is Elva K. Lance. Cheerleaders, Emily Moore, Christy White, Tanya Morgan, Denise Hubbard, Jennifer Evans, Katina Denton, Michelle Norman, Lee Bratton, Emily Bowen, and Michelle Bound. And Mitchell, that rounds out the starting lineup for the Calhoun City Wildcats. And if you would go over with them with the Vardaman Rams lineup, and we're going to be momentarily, we'll have the kickoff, excuse me. It's been a while, Mitchell, since I've been out here. So I'm a little bit rusty since last year.
That's understandable.
So just go ahead there with the Vardaman Rams.
All right, we're going to go over the starting lineup now with you for the Rams of Vardaman. Number 5, Randy Armstrong, running back, 195. He's a junior. Number 9, Luke Massey, quarterback, 165, sophomore. Number 11, Lee Hoskins, wide receiver, 145, junior. Number 14, Rob Easley, is a tight end, 195 pounds, and he's a senior. 34, Chris Hollins, running back, 180 pounds, senior. 54, Ryan Winters, is a tackle, 220 pounds. He's a senior. Number 61, Chris Duncan's a guard, 205. He's a sophomore. 71, Chris Hames, guard, 175, junior. Number 74, Joe Barry is a tackle, 295 pounds, and he's a senior. 78, George Tedder, center, 210 pounds, senior. And rounding out tonight's starting lineup for the Rams of Vardaman, number 22, Thomas Brooks, is wide out, 150. He's a junior. Coaches for the homestanding Rams are Mark Bray and Clay Dowdry. Managers Charlie Davis, Bobby Buchanan, Brad Spencer, Sammy McGregor, and Martin Parker. Cheerleaders this year for the Rams are Nicole Long, Rachel Harper, Alicia Humphreys, Renee Pratt, Camilla Harden, Lori Ramage, Dana Ellis, Charlene McDonald, Cherry Hallums, and Tara Lucius. We're just moments away from the arrival of each team onto the field. And while we have a few minutes, we're going to go over a sponsor break with you. And to go over that sponsor break is Miss Angel Barfield.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsoring Vardaman, we have Cole's Jewelry, G&S Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone, Parker Memorial, Fred's Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Back to you, Mitchell.
Before we go to Mitchell, we want to thank the people who are sponsoring the games tonight. and the games throughout the season for this football season. And all the schools who are involved, I know they are deeply appreciative of the people who are bringing these games to the viewers. Would like to remind you the game can be seen on Channel 7. It will begin at approximately 9 to 9:30 on Friday night. As soon as the first half has completed, it will go back to the station, and then the final half will be played following the first half. It can be replayed. It will be replayed at 11 o'clock a.m. on Saturday morning.
And we have the arrival of the Rams of Vardaman onto the field, coming in from our left. They are led by the cheerleader squad. Behind a big round of applause. We're currently awaiting the arrival of the Wildcats onto the field. We have the captains for each team meeting at midfield. Captains for Calhoun City, number 1, Corey Vance. Number 44, Bobby Kilgore. For Vardaman, we have captains number 34, Chris Holland, number 54, Ryan Winters, and as well as number 31, Kendall Atkinson. We'll know momentarily who has won the toss, who will receive, who will kick off to begin tonight's battle.
New Albany area over there. It was lightning, the wind was blowing real hard, and I was hoping maybe we got some of that down this way, but unfortunately we didn't.
That's exactly right.
Getting back to the game, this is one of the best games of all year for as Calhoun City and Vardaman, and it's a big rivalry game, and it's going to be real interesting to see who's going to come out on the top of this game. Calhoun City lost a lot of players last year, I understand, and Vardaman, they're coming off a big win last week on East Webster, and Calhoun City is coming off to defeat from the hands of Bruce. We talked earlier in the year about how well these two teams was going to be. We felt like the Calhoun City wouldn't be as strong as they were last year, and we felt like that Vardaman would probably have as strongest teams they had last year, if not even stronger.
That's exactly right, David. Those things you pointed out there will definitely be big factors in tonight's contest. And once again, as I said, we still have the captains meeting at midfield discussing things with the official. While we have the time, on a personal note, I would like to say hello to my daughter Deidre Lee, other daughter Erin Elizabeth, and to my wife Joy, and I love you all. Clock shows 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining before kickoff. Still awaiting the arrival of the Wildcats onto the field. Taking a look at the major universities in the Magnolia State, where they'll be in action tomorrow, Saturday, September the 8th, 1990. I understand Vardaman won the toss. They will receive. Southern Miss Golden Eagles will take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama in Birmingham. Ole Miss Rebels open up against the Tigers of Memphis State in Memphis, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs will be hosting Tennessee Volunteers on campus in Starkville, as we have the arrival of the Wildcats onto the field. They go to the far sideline across the way. We hear a band, of course, struck up in the background by the Calhoun City High School Marching Band. David, I believe I see a haze forming out there on the field. Maybe some smoke coming off here from some of these cookers over here in the sideline. What do you think?
I believe that's probably what it is, but and I ate a bite before I came up here, and it's smelling mighty good too. So all the people at home, you're missing something here, because they do cook some really good hamburgers here.
No doubt about it. We'd like to encourage everyone to go out and support the high school of their choice. About to have the invocation as well as the playing of our national anthem, so stay with us.
First Baptist Church in Vardaman, and the national anthem to be played by the Calhoun City Band.
For just a moment, let us bow in silent prayer for our forces in the Mideast. Our Heavenly Father, it is by grace that we live, and we pray this hour that you will help us to live graciously with one another. We pray that peace shall come to our world and not bloodshed. Father, we pray for this event tonight. We pray first of all for the safety of all that are involved. We pray then that each player shall play the best. Father, we pray that you shall watch over this event as you do all of life. And then, Father, we look to Jesus, who is our Savior and our Lord, and we give him the glory. In his name we pray. Amen.
Big round of applause going up at the conclusion of the playing of our national anthem by the Calhoun City High School Marching Band. Wildcat unit making its way onto the field. Vardaman still in their huddle here on the sideline. I believe Vardaman will be receiving the kickoff here, David.
You know they will, Mitchell. You know, and everybody's anticipating a real good game here, and I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought battle, you know, for each team.
Ram receiving corps making their way on now. Back deep to receive for Vardaman will be number 31, Kendall Atkinson, as well as number 12, Neil Wesley, and number 11, Lee Hoskins, back to receive as well for the Rams of Vardaman. Again, we are coming to you from Carter Field here at Vardaman, where the Rams are hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. Teeing the ball up for the Wildcats, number 72, Tim Evans, is a senior at 285. Evans approaches the ball, and the game is underway. Deep kick right down the middle of the field. This will be 31 Atkinson in the end zone. Touchback there. 31 Kendall Atkinson back to receive the kick for Vardaman. And the Rams will set up shop to begin this evening's action. 1st and 10, and be operating from their own 20-yard line. Rams break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Number 9 with his signal calling duties, Luke Massey for Vardaman. Goes wide out to the near side and the far side. Give goes to the first man through. Picking up a few yards up the middle there. Number 34 with that carry, I believe. That was Chris Holland. He's a running back, 180, and he's a senior. Pick up of 2, bring up a second down here, and about 8 yards to go for the first.
You know, Mitchell, last year, Holland, he did real well back there in that backfield, getting that tough yardage, you know.
He certainly did. They depended on him last year, and obviously they're going to depend on him here this evening as well. Rams come up to the line of scrimmage, showing the same offensive set. As Luke Massey calls signals here, rolls to his left. Going to be hitting down there. Massey on the keeper on the left side, but not much running room there. Maybe a loss of a yard or less on the carry. Bring up the third down. And we'll call it about 9 yards to go for the first. If you joined us late, we're just getting away with the game here. We're on the first quarter. Clock shows an even 11 minutes remaining. We are scoreless. Vardaman Rams are hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. 3rd down and 9 here for Vardaman. Colin wants to throw, passes away. I believe it's incomplete there. Intended for 14, Rob Easley, a senior 195. We got a 4th down situation here and a short 9 to go for the first. Plenty of situation for Vardaman.
You know, Mitchell, whenever we first got here, we was watching Rob Easley out there practicing on his punch, and you know he was really getting his foot into that ball.
It certainly was. Maybe he can get a nice one away here. Vardaman operating from their own territory and about around the 20-yard line. Looks to be around the 20. Ryan Winter, number 54, back to kick the ball away for Vardaman. Winter gets it on the first hop and gets a kick away. Number 18 fields it for Calhoun City, zone 45. Moves the ball around the 45 of Vardaman.
You know, Vardaman has some real good pursuit there, Mitchell. They was just actually just missing the guy, you know, him trying to run up the middle.
That was Marcus Jennings on that punt return for the Wildcats, and that's where Calhoun City will put the ball in play 1st and 10 in Vardaman territory on about the 46-yard line. First and 10 Calhoun City as Corey Vance sets his offense. Inside give goes to the first man through, but nowhere to go. He is hammered in there. You know, Mitchell, by Kevin Langford.
You know, Mitchell, I tell you what, that defense of Vardaman, they come off of that line surge, and there was about 5 of them hitting at one time.
Maybe a loss on that play. We'll call it maybe a gain of 1. 2nd down here. We'll call it 9 yards to go.
You know, really, Mitchell, you have to give that to the defense of Vardaman because they shoved the Calhoun City offensive line. They shoved them back, and there wasn't nowhere for the running back to go.
Number 3, Shane Cook enters the game for the Wildcats. A flanker, 155 sophomore. He brings in the play from across the way. 2nd down here and about 9 yards to go for the Wildcats. Vance with the inside give goes number 34. I'll sit on his feet now. Driving down the near sideline, finally dragged down. That was Keith Pittman with a carry. The tailback, 150, and he's a junior. Nice piece of running there by Pittman.
Definitely was, Mitchell. You know, there again, Vardaman surged in there. They just missed the guy. You know, he just snuck through that line, and you have to give that just about all that effort to that running back. You know, he just found the open hole, and he gained good yardage out of it.
Number 10, Matt Knight, checks into the game for the Cats. Wide out, 140. He's a senior. As he brings in instructions from across the way under Coach Rudy Pope and Keith Downs. 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats. Inside give goes to first man through as he's dragged down from behind. Number 80 in there with a stop, Clay Spencer for Vardaman. Carry was made by number 34, Keith Pittman. Bring up a 2nd down situation here. We'll call it about 8 yards now to go for the first. As 23 checks into the game for Calhoun City, Mikey Knight, the flanker, 155, sophomore. 2nd and 8 here for the Wildcats. Around the 33-yard line of Vardaman. Give goes to Pittman on the right side, still on his feet, driving around. He was caught and dragged down by number 34, Chris Holland. A senior at 180, did a nice job there defensively.
You know, there again, Mitchell, Keith Pittman, he tried to go up the middle, but it wasn't nothing there. So, you know, he had to sort of sidestep to the outside, and he still picked up a little bit of yardage there. But Vardaman had real good pursuits. You know, there's one thing about it. If Pittman ever gets on the outside out there, I think, you know, it's going to be hard for Vardaman to catch him.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation here, and about 3 or 4 yards to go for the first, closer to 3. Wildcats Brett Cullen comes to the line of scrimmage. As Corey Vance, that's his offense once again. Give goes to Kevin Langford. He's got a hold down the middle. Langford still on his feet, driving for yards. Finally knocked down from behind by 14, Rob Easley. Nice pickup on that carry by number 22, Kevin Langford. He's a tailback, 175, and he's a senior.
You know, there again, Mitchell, Kevin Langford, you know, he had a good bit of playing time last year with Calhoun City, you know, and he, you know, he's probably one of the hardest hitting running backs that they've got. Last year, you know, he got some tough yardage, and he was just running over folks.
Number 80, Clay Spencer, leads the game defensively for the Rams. As number 10, Matt Knight, checks back into the game for the Wildcats. Penalty marker down before the play really ever develops. We'll have to wait and see what call is here. Offsides call against the Wildcats. Here was the penalty of the 5-yard variety. Still be 1st down here, but with 15 yards to go for another first. David, from this angle, it's hard really for us to tell exactly where that ball was spotted on the field.
You know, it definitely is, Mitchell. You know, the press box was full whenever we got here, and we had to set up down here close to the field. So that's the reason that you're sort of getting a ground level shot down here.
1st and 15 here for the Cats. Number 23 checks into the game for Calhoun City, Mikey Knight. Sophomore, 155. As he brings in the play from across the way. We are in the first quarter. Clock shows 7 minutes, 34 seconds remaining, and the clock is running. We are scoreless. Give goes to the first man through with nowhere to go. That was Pittman on that carry, but he is hammered in there along the line of scrimmage for no appreciable gain. And on the stop was number 55, Steve Townsend, as well as Ryan Winter.
There again, Mitchell, you know, you got to look at that defensive line of Vardaman. You know, they're just pushing that offensive line back, and there's nowhere for them to go up the middle.
Checking in the game now for the Cats, number 28, that's Chris Mays, wide out, 150 sophomore. So brings in the play from across the way in relation to quarterback Corey Vance. 2nd down here and about 16 yards to go for the first now. Vance with the pitch back to Lincoln on the right side, trying to turn the corner, still on his feet. Going outside, down the far sideline, finally pushed out of bounds. Has a nice carry there by number 22, Kevin Langford. I thought he was stopped there momentarily, David, but he just kept turning the corner, and he was going down the far sideline.
You know, it's just like I said before, Mitchell. You know, last year, Kevin Langford, if you don't hit him and hold on to him with those arms, you know, you're not going to bring him down because he'll just bounce off of you and get some more yardage.
3rd down situation here with about the 5 yards to go for the first. Checking in for Calhoun City once again is Matt Knight. He brings in the play. 6:48 remaining in the first quarter, and the clock is stopped. We are scoreless. Vardaman Rams are hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. Vance with the ball, pitch back to Pittman. He's got some running room now. Down on the near sideline, he is tripped up from behind by number 11, Lee Hoskins, a junior 145. And there was a stop defensively.
You know, Calhoun City has really got some speed in that backfield this year, Mitchell. It reminds me a lot of the speed they had last year. Calhoun City has always had a real good backfield for as long as I can remember.
They really have, no question about that. 23, Mikey Knight checks back into the game now for the Cats. Fourth down here and about 3 yards to go. Calhoun City is going for it. Kevin Langford with the ball, driving for the first down. A little extra to spare, I believe. Langford with the necessary yardage for the first down there. It'll be first and goal to go here, I believe, David. Can't quite tell where that ball is going to be marked. Evidently, it is inside the 10-yard line, though, of Vardaman.
You know, it really puts the pressure on that defensive line now, too, because they're going to have to go to that goal line. And, you know, the way Calhoun City's been moving that ball, they've moved it real well down the field. Vardaman's had some good licks, but they just can't stop them.
First and goal to go. Here's the Cats coming up to the line of scrimmage. Wide outs left and right. Vance up under center now. Officials stop the play before it ever develops. Marker down. Offsides once again against Calhoun City. That'd be a penalty once again of 5 yards.
But, you know, Calhoun City's not letting that get them down. You know, they come right back at you, and they bounce off of you and get more yardage. Kevin Langford, he's running the ball real hard. So is Pittman, too. So, you know, I feel like the Vardamans probably get that 5 yards back. Maybe I'm wrong.
Leaving the game offensively for the Cats, number 3, Shane Cook, a flanker, 155 sophomore. Checking back in for Calhoun City, Matt Knight, wide out 140 senior. First down here for the Wildcats. Pitch back going to Langford, trying to turn the corner, and he is ridden down there before he can turn the corner.
That's what you got to do, Mitchell. That showed a real good open field tackle. You know, Kevin Langford trying to get on the outside, and that time he wrapped his arms around him and brought him down to the ground. And that's what you got to do with Kevin Langford, because if you don't, he's going to gain a lot of yardage on you.
That was number 5, Randy Armstrong, on the stop defensively for the Rams. Bring up the second down here. Anyway, it looks to be about 15 yards to go for the touchdown. To get inside the 10 for the goal-to-go situation, but they were penalized 5 yards, so second down and about 15 now after that last play. Pass is almost picked off there. Referee on the spot ruling the pass incomplete. Randy Armstrong almost come up with a big interception defensively.
You know, that would have changed that ball game all around too, Mitchell. Calhoun City's they're up and they're trying to get in that end zone, but Vardaman is denying them so far.
Third down and once again about 15 yards to go for a touchdown for Calhoun City.
You know, looking at the roster too, Mitchell, I was looking at it. You know, these two teams are pretty evenly matched in as far as weight.
There's no doubt about that, David. I was looking over that myself before the game began. Third down and goal to go here for the Cats. 2 wide outs across the way, one to the near side. Vance wants to throw, passes away. Pass is going to be, what is it, incomplete? Incomplete, I believe. It was out of our view, but I believe it was incomplete.
Yeah, it was incomplete, Mitchell. You know, and Vardaman was very lucky then because he was wide open. It was just a little bit overthrown, but it was in his hands. And, you know, we watch a lot of pro games every year, you know, and they say, you know, if it's in your hands, you're supposed to be able to catch it. But, you know, it's not quite like that in high school.
That was number 44, Bobby Kilgore, the intended pass receiver. Fourth down situation here. Wildcats will evidently be attempting the field goal. Number 1, Corey Vance with the hold. Hold is down, kick is up. It's going to be partially blocked or no good, either one. In any event, it's no good. So the score will stand 0-0 with 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Here's Angel.
Sponsoring tonight's game is Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, Calhoun City Telephone. Sponsoring from Vardaman is Cole's Jewelry, G&S Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone, Parker Memorial, Fred's of Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Back to Mitchell.
We do have a timeout on the field. Again, with 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and we are scoreless. Checking in now on other schools around the Southeastern Conference tomorrow. The Auburn Tigers will be hosting Fullerton State. The Florida Gators take on Oklahoma State at Gainesville. The Georgia Bulldogs take on the LSU Tigers at Baton Rouge. The Kentucky Wildcats face Rutgers at East Rutherford, New Jersey. And the Vanderbilt Commodores go to battle against SMU away. It'll be 1st and 10 here as the Rams will put their offense in motion, operating from their own 20. Number 9, Luke Massey with the quarterback keeper around the near side with a little running room there, but not much, if any. Maybe a loss on the carry. Bring up a 2nd down here and more than 10 to go for the 1st.
Justin Taylor.
Even 4 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter now. Rams break their huddle now and come to the line of scrimmage. Again, this is Luke Massey with the signal calling duties for Vardaman. Give goes to the first man through behind 2 or 3 blocks. Picks up 3 yards, maybe 4 on the carry. Chris Holland on the carry. He's a running back, 180. He's a senior.
You know, Mitchell,
down here and about 5 yards to go.
You know, Mitchell, both of these teams is really, they're showing their defensive efforts here. Vardaman hadn't been able to really move the ball the way they should be able to. And Calhoun City, really they moved the ball, but Vardaman held them, and when the time they needed to hold them was there.
Definitely been a defensive struggle so far this evening. 3rd and 5 here for the Rams. Massey sets his offense, wide outs left and right. Give goes to lone setback in the backfield. But there's Randy Armstrong with that carry, but not much running room there for Armstrong.
That was Kevin Langford in there on the tackle, Mitchell, and he just overpowered the offensive end over there and just went across top of him and tackled him.
That'll bring up the 4th down here and about 5 yards to go for the 1st. Ball is marked around the 25-yard line of Vardaman. That's something else, David, we haven't touched on. Vardaman's been operating from their own territory so far this evening.
You know, that's a big factor in this game, too.
54, Ryan Winter back to kick it away for the Rams. Gets the kick away. Number 18 back to receive. Marcus Jennings for the Wildcats. He's going to let the ball roll dead around the 32 or 33 of Calhoun City. And that's where the Wildcats will put the ball in play, 1st and 10.
A good game here between Calhoun City and Vardaman in this the 2nd game of the season for both teams. Vardaman winning their game last Friday night, and Calhoun City lost to Bruce last Friday night. So Calhoun City's looking for their 1st win of the season, and Vardaman's looking to continue their winning streak. Again, we want to thank the people who sponsor the games for us each week.
Play went on the right side of the line there for a little gain, if any, by number 22, Kevin Langford with that carry, I believe. Winner on the stop. Bring up a 2nd down situation here. We'll call it about 8 yards to go for the 1st. 2nd 8 here for Calhoun City. A minute and 40 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter with the clock running, and we are scoreless. Vance drops back in the pocket here to throw. Pass to Langford is caught. Kevin Langford with a juggling catch. Spins off one-way tackler up to around the 36, 37-yard line before he is dropped.
You know, Mitchell, Kevin Langford, that's just showing good eye and hand coordination because he kept his eye on that ball and he didn't care if he's going to get hit or not. He was going to catch it. And then he missed a tackle there. He spun off of one of them, but unfortunately there's another one to come up behind him and nailed him.
Kevin Langford's an outstanding athlete for the Wildcats. Checking in for Calhoun City, number 10, Matt Knight, as well as number 18, Marcus Jennings. 3rd down here. We'll call it about 5 yards to go for the 1st. Again, the ball is spotted around the 36, 37-yard line of Calhoun City. 50 seconds now remaining in the 1st quarter with the clock in motion. Corey Vance with signal calling duties. Keeps the ball on the right side, turns it up, finally dragged down. About a yard or two shy of the 1st down. Tackle was finally made by number 34, Chris Holland, a senior at 180. Penalty marker down. What's this one all about, David? You catch it?
Mitchell, I don't have no idea.
We'll have to wait and get the official ruling here and see what transpires from there.
I think it was one of the Calhoun City players just lost one of their rags there on their, one of their hand rags off of their pants.
4th down situation for Calhoun City with about a yard to go for the 1st. Wildcats showing punt here, back to receive for Vardaman. Number 11, Lee Hoskins, as well as number 31, Kendall Atkinson. Kick is away. This will be Atkinson trying to field it there. He's going to return it Atkinson trying to turn the corner on the near side. He's hitting ridden down there around the 20-yard line. And that's where the Rams set up shop, 1st and 10. There's a horn with the end of the first quarter of play. Vardaman 0, Calhoun City 0. We are once again coming to you from Carter Field here in Vardaman. We're back momentarily. You're watching a sports presentation at W07BN with our affiliates Channel 5 in Houston and Channel 2 in Water Valley.
You know, Mitchell, we hadn't talked about it, but, you know, there is an exceptionally large crowd here. There's just standing room only, and it's not much of that.
It's filled to capacity here on the homestand side, and it's full across the way on the Calhoun City side stand as well. David, there's something you and I haven't talked about this year so far, simply because this is our first game to work together. As I said earlier, we do have two new affiliates. We have Channel 5 there in Houston and Channel 2 in Water Valley. And they're getting some shots this game. They're getting the game as well, and we're really excited about that.
Well, that's a new one on me because I knew we were supposed to cover them, but I didn't know that they was going to be seeing the game also.
So we're seen by a lot more people now. The mistakes we make now are known by a lot more people than they were, before we started branching out.
Yeah, we may get as big as ABC one of these days.
Taking a picture of each other.
Good shot there of Angel and Ann and myself and David. That's David now. Make sure of that. This is me. That's David. That's William right there. Rob. There we go. Suzanne down there.
And we can't get a shot of the man behind the camera, so I think that's Bill.
I believe so. I think it is. Bill's worked up a sweat. That must be a hard job tonight.
It's got to be a hard one.
1st and 10, Vardaman operating from their own 21. Pass is going to be incomplete. Had a little contact there downfield. Referee on the spot ruling the pass incomplete.
Well, you know, both of them was going for the ball, Mitchell, so really there shouldn't have been any kind of penalty there, I wouldn't think.
2nd down and once again 10 yards to go for the first. We are in the 2nd quarter of play and we are scoreless. Vardaman Rams hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. 2nd game of the season for both schools. Vardaman coming off a win last week over East Webster. Calhoun City coming off a disappointing loss to Bruce last week at Calhoun City. Luke Massey calling out signals for the Vardaman. Give goes up the middle, the first man through. Pick up about 2 or 3 on that carry. Number 34, that was Chris Holland, running back, senior 180 with a carry for Vardaman. 3rd down here and about 5 yards to go for the first. Checking in for Vardaman will be number 12, Neil Wesley. So he replaces number 31, Kendall Atkinson. Wesley bringing in instructions from a near sideline. Vardaman coaches Mark Bray and Clay Dowdry. 3rd and about 5 or 6 now to go for Vardaman. Massey with the signal calling duties. Pitch back goes to Armstrong, trying to turn the corner in the backfield now. Armstrong trying to shake tackler. Finally is ridden down. There'll be a loss on that carry by number 5, Randy Armstrong. David, he just ran out of running room.
He definitely did, Mitchell. That showed real good pursuit of Calhoun City because there were about 3 of the Calhoun City players standing in the middle of the field, and the rest of them was over here close to us.
4th down situation here. Once again, about the 6 yards to go for the first. Punting situation for Vardaman. Operating from their own territory on about the 25-yard line or thereabouts. Back to receive the punt for the Wildcats. Looks like number 18, Marcus Jennings. Back to kick it away for Vardaman. Be number 54. That's Ryan Winters. Winters gets a snap back and gets a kick away. Nice hanging driving spiral. Again, now this is 18 on the return. Jennings still on his feet, trying to find somewhere to go. He's finally dropped around the 37, 38-yard line of Calhoun City.
You know, Mitchell, he caught that ball like it was a pass, and then he turned around, and it just wasn't nowhere to go because Vardaman had the field covered pretty good. They had real good pursuit on the extra teams there.
And that's where the Wildcats put the ball in play, 1st and 10.
Well, as long as they stay right along in here, Mitchell, we'll get a pretty good view of this game.
That's exactly right. We are in the 2nd quarter with 10:25 remaining in the first half, and we are scoreless. I'd like to remind everyone that next week we'll be traveling to Houston to take on the Houston and Baldwin contest. Invite you to come out and support the Hilltoppers if you can. Watch it here. Vance with a give to the first man. Vance with a carry on the left side. He's ridden down from behind. Be a loss on that play. Once again, that was Corey Vance with the carry. He was dragged down by Neil Wesley.
Yeah, you know, the running back to come up the middle there, Mitchell, it looked like he was carrying the ball there. That was a real good fake on his part, but it didn't fool Vardaman at all.
Bring up a second down here and about a long 12, short 13 to go for the first. That ball's going to be marked around the 35-yard line. Calhoun City's on 35. Vance wants to throw. Passes away. It's going to be complete down the far. He is hammered in there. Catch was made by number 18, Marcus Jennings, but he took a real belt across the way. Kendall Atkinson with the big hit defensively.
You know, it definitely
he did a good job of hanging on to that ball that time.
He sure did, Mitchell. You know, he didn't hear no footsteps at all when he caught that ball because if he had a hit, he lost it.
1st and 10, Calhoun City. That ball's going to be marked around the 46, 47-yard line of Vardaman.
You know, really, it was a good thing that Kendall was back there, too, because he'd been gone.
No question about it. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Corey Vance now. 2 wide outs to the near side, 1 across the way. 2 men in the backfield. Give goes to number 34 in the carry, Pittman, I believe, but not much running room there. Maybe a yard. Make up a second down here. We'll call it 9 to go for the first. 9:13 remaining in the first half, and we are scoreless. Vardaman Rams hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. That ball's going to be marked around the 45, 46-yard line in Ram territory. '65, Dwayne Pinson leaving the game defensively for the Rams. He's a junior at 215. 2nd and 9 here for Calhoun City. Vance with a give to first man through. He has nowhere to go. He is dragged down. Number 2, Marcus Howard with that carry. And on the stop was number 5, Randy Armstrong, as well as number 74, Joe Barrett.
You know, and I guarantee you, Ira's proud of that boy. You know, Joe is probably bigger than his daddy is. You know, our junior, he's a pretty good sized fella, but Joe's about the same size as he is. So, you know, if them two was to get into it, that would be a heck of a scrap, wouldn't it?
I'd like to be at least 3 blocks away if that ever happened.
At least, because it would probably rest her about 8 on the Richter scale.
3rd and about 12 here for Calhoun City. Vance drops back in the pocket under pressure. He's got to carry it himself. Coming to the near side. Here fumbles the ball. Ball is loose on the field. Still loose. Ball's going to be recovered there, I believe, by the Rams. Big play defensively by Vardaman.
You know, you have to contribute that to the hit that he got because he really popped him one, and that ball just squirted out of there.
Number 11, Lee Hoskins coming up with the fumble recovery for the Rams. And that's where Vardaman will be in business, 1st and 10.
You know, these boys are really getting after it out here, you know, just to be the 2nd game of the season, and they are out here scrapping, buddy.
No doubt about this. Inter-county rivalry. 1st and 10, Vardaman. He'll be operating from Wildcat territory this time, inside the 40. It's the best field position Vardaman's had all evening, I believe, David.
It definitely is, Mitchell, because I don't believe they even got across the 50-yard line yet.
I believe that's right. Official stops play before it ever develops. Timeout called by the Wildcats of Calhoun City.
You know, he's got to regroup a little bit. You know, Calhoun City is taking a beating out there right now. Just like we talked about a while ago when it first started, you know, Vardaman looked like they was coming out there hitting real hard, and the defense was pushing their offense back. And you know, he's going to go out there and tell them guys, now, look, we just need to settle down. Don't let this get to you. You know, just get pepped back up like you was when you first started on that first drive you had. And so don't let it get you down and just get in there and hit them.
Clock shows 7 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Vardaman 0, Calhoun City 0. Once again, we are coming to you from Carter Field here in Vardaman, where the Rams are hosting the Wildcats of Calhoun City. We'll be right back momentarily. Stay with us. You're watching a sports presentation of W07BN, your local sports connection. Wildcat territory, about the 40-yard line. Give goes to Randy Armstrong. Sit on his feet, driving for yards, finally dragged down. Nice piece of running after the initial hit there by number 5, Randy Armstrong.
You know, Mitchell, that may have been those last couple of licks that Vardaman put on them boys. You know, it may have sparked them just a little bit. You know, and they're saying, you know, Calhoun City's not as tough as they think they are. So we're gonna try and just show them how tough Vardaman can be.
That'll bring up a 2nd down situation here and about 5 yards to go. Checking in offensively for Vardaman, number 80. That's Clay Spencer, tight end 210. He's a senior as he brings in the play from a near sideline. 2nd and 5 here for the Rams. Number 9, Luke Massey with the signal calling duties. Puts the wide out across the way. Split backfield formation, 2-man set. Massey with a keeper on the left side. A broken play, I believe. There'll be a loss on that play perhaps. Tackle was made by number 78. That was Sean Parker, tackle 225. He's a senior. They believe that was just a little mix-up in the backfield there, but he was supposed to get the ball.
Well, the way it looked to me, Mitchell, that's what it was. He was really wanting to hand it off to maybe the fullback going through the middle, but when he got there, the fullback wasn't there, so the only thing he could do was try to run it.
Third down here, once again, about 5 yards to go for the first. That ball is marked around the 34-yard line of Calhoun City. As Massey sets his offense once again. Massey on the roll to the right side, pitches back, ball is fumble. Armstrong with a fumble recovery. Another broken play, David.
You know, Mitchell, he was real lucky there, too. Armstrong, he just had to dive in on the ball because it was thrown real low. As Massey was going down on the ground, he tried to pitch it back, and, you know, it's real dangerous to try to do that.
That's going to bring up the fourth down situation and about 10 yards to go for the first. Punting situation for the Rams once again. Vardaman finally able to wrestle field position away from Calhoun City, but to no avail. Fourth down here, and once again, as I said earlier, 10 yards to go. Punting situation for the Rams. 54. Ryan Winters back to boot the ball away from Vardaman. Official stops play before it can develop. And what do we have now? Official timeout on the field. We have a refreshment break there for the players. And David, that's something we've seen different this year, and I think it's a good idea with the humidity factor like it is. You know, last year we saw a lot of these players with muscle cramps and what have you because the heat was so bad, humidity, what have you. And they're having more official timeouts this year because of that one reason.
You know, it's definitely right, Mitchell. And last year, I don't believe it was quite as hot as it is now, you know, and the humidity is so high this year, especially at this time of the year in September. You know, who would think there would be a 110-degree heat index here?
And we have Ann and Angel with a sponsor break.
Before I tell the sponsors, I would just like to say I attend Northwest Community College in Senatobia, and they won against Holmes last night 21-10. Sponsors for tonight's game, sponsoring Calhoun City, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and CC Telephone. Sponsoring the Vardaman Rams, we have Cole's Jewelry, GNS Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, CC Telephone, Parker Memorial, Fred's Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Back to you.
Winner with the punt for the Vardaman. Calhoun City player fielded it back. Can't quite tell exactly where that ball is going to be spotted. In any event, they'll be operating from deep in their own territory to start this drive.
You know, Vardaman, Mitchell, what Vardaman needs to do now is really hold Calhoun City and change that field advantage back around to Vardaman's side of what Calhoun City had in the first quarter.
That's exactly right, David. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Ball looks to be racing inside the 10 of Calhoun City. Vance brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Give goes to the first man through off the left side. They pick up 2 or 3 on that carry. Before he's ridden down by a host of Ram defenders. It was 22 Kevin Langford with the carry. A senior at 175. David Langford's just that workhorse in the backfield. He's going to see a lot of action tonight, and I feel the whole season long if he stays healthy.
You know, you're really right, Mitchell, but the way this heat is, you know, anything could happen. He could get hurt and really probably in a career, maybe him going to play some college ball. You know, he's a small guy, but he can make it, you know.
Listed in the program as 175 pounds, and he's a senior, and he's a tough one, I can guarantee you that. Second down, about 8 here. Inside give goes to number 34, Pittman, still on his feet, driving for the first down. Up near the first down marker, I believe he got it. Nice run there by number 34, Keith Pittman. Tailback 150, and he's a junior. Enough room for the first down. He'll be first and 10 Wildcat.
And you know, Mitchell, like we was talking earlier, Pittman has got some speed on him. You know, if he ever breaks one open, it's going to be hard for Vardaman to catch him.
Ball's going to be marked around the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Calhoun City. Vance wants to throw on first down. Pass is complete on the far sideline. He finally fumbles the ball. Ball is loose on the field. Rams have recovered the fumble once again. Vardaman has came up with 2 fumble recoveries this evening. to get the good field position. But, David, it's about time somebody capitalized on something. We're still scoreless with 4:14 remaining in the first half.
You know, we really are, Mitchell, and most of the ball games have been played on one end of the field.
That's exactly right.
Well, Mitchell, is one thing about it. You know, what do you think about the Ole Miss opening up tomorrow night? Matter of fact, be the first game at home under the lights.
Well, let's see. We checked that earlier, David. I believe they're playing at Memphis. They're playing Memphis State at Memphis tomorrow.
They're playing at Ole Miss tomorrow night.
They do play at Ole Miss.
They do play at Ole Miss, first night under the lights.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right. I got my information from a SEC annual. Maybe they've changed it since that was printed. But that'd be something different for the Rebel fans there. They'll probably enjoy that. Sure will.
Yeah, because I was thinking about getting tickets. My brother-in-law was going to give me tickets up there for the game. You know, Danny, he's up there, the police sergeant on Oxford. And
number 31 on the carry. This is Atkinson trying to turn the corner. He's finally ridden out of bounds. That was Kendall Atkinson. He's a senior at 175 trying to turn the corner for Vardaman.
But Ole Miss will play tomorrow night under the lights. At Ole Miss, it's the first night that they'll be under the lights. I think they discovered electricity up there.
We may get some phone calls about that. Just direct all your calls to David Barnett. See if I can remember your phone number here. 628-6024.
I will have it changed exactly Monday morning whenever the phone company opens up.
All you Rebel fans, give them a call and tell them what you think about that remark.
I heard that on a Memphis radio station this morning, by the way.
Of course, yeah. Second 8 here for the Rams. Give goes to Armstrong up the middle. He is ridden down from behind by number 78, Sean Parker. Again, it was 5, Randy Armstrong with a carry. Fumble on the play. I believe the Wildcats came up with a fumble recovery this time. Well, these teams are full of fumbleitis so far in this first half, Dave.
You know, everybody's getting a little shaky out there, Mitchell. All them boys, they want to score so bad the first time, you know, to see which one's going to score. And don't look like nobody's going to outscore the other one so far.
First and 10 Wildcats operating from deep in their own territory inside the 10-yard line. Getting a shot here of the capacity crowd on hand here on the homestand side. And believe you me, it's full across the way, too, on the Calhoun City side. First and 10 Wildcats. Give goes the first man through, and he is really rocked in there. George Titter in there with a stop defensively. Second 11 here for the Wildcats. Loss of a yard on the previous carry. 3:07 remaining in the first half, and the clock is running. We are scoreless. As Corey Vance brings his offense up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide outs to the wide side, 1 to the near side. Vance wants to throw, passes away. It's going to be almost picked off there. It was intended for number 18, Marcus Jennings. Good defensive coverage by number 22, I believe. We don't have a listing for my roster.
You know, he ran back and threw that ball, Mitchell, and he threw it across the field probably 40, 50 yards.
He really put an arm in it, no doubt about that. We're up a third down situation here. Once again, 11 yards to go for the first. Wildcats operating deep in their own territory, around the 5-yard line. Penalty marker down. Got a little offensive offsides there, I believe. Have to wait to get the official ruling. Man in motion. Offsides against the Wildcats. I believe a half a distance to goal penalty. Is that correct, David?
I believe that'd be right, Mitchell. Or maybe it's 5 yards. Where's the 2 yards? 2-yard penalty.
Third down here. And what looks to be about 13 yards to go for the first for Calhoun City. Vance sets his offense here, operating from dangerous territory back inside their 5. Fumbles a snap. Scramble for the ball. But the 22 has recovered. The Rams have recovered here. They'll be in great. Vardaman will have the ball in great shape here as they recover the ball inside the 5-yard line of Calhoun City. And David, if this is not opportunity knocking on the door, I don't know what is.
You know, Mitchell, all we've seen is fumble after fumble after fumble. You know, just about all of them went Vardaman's way. Calhoun City recovered one fumble, and I think Vardaman's had like 3 or 4.
Rams must convert here. Best opportunity of the evening for the Vardaman Rams inside the 5 of Calhoun City.
And it's possible they may not get another chance like this.
2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the first half, and the clock is running. Vardaman 0, Calhoun City 0. First and goal here for the Rams inside the 5 of Calhoun City.
And the crowd is up.
Through. Touchdown.
Touchdown. There he went.
I believe that was number 34 with a touchdown scamper, Chris Holland. Running back 180. He's a senior. This crowd is alive.
They definitely are, Mitchell, you know. And just about everybody here is on their feet, even the people in the stands, not counting the ones down on the field.
Vardaman goes out in front 6-0 over Calhoun City with 2 minutes and 27 seconds showing remaining in the first half of play. On to attempt the extra point will be number 54. That's Ryan Winters, a senior at 220. Hold by number 9.
I think old Rob looked out with him a little football down here.
I'm glad he grabbed it because it's going to hit me right in the face, V, and I caught it. Winter with the extra point attempt, kick is up, and it's true, right between the posts. Ryan Winter on the tackle.
There's excitement in there, Mitch.
Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. 2:27 remaining in the first half of play. We're going to take you to our local station for do a little business with you. Stay with us.
I think it warmed up about.
Back to action here. Vardaman with the kickoff. Relatively short kick. This will be number 10 on the kick return. Fumbles the ball. Ball is loose on the field. Let's see who has recovered here. Big scramble for the football. Wildcats will have possession. That was number 10 trying to field the ball for the Cats, Matt Knight. He's a senior 140. That's where the Wildcats will put the ball in play, 1st and 10.
You know, Vardaman is laying some licks on them guys out there, so they've got to be a little shaky. That's the only thing that I can figure out. That Calhoun City is just maybe a little shaky about catching that ball because Vardaman is really giving them some headaches at this time.
1st and 10 Vardaman. 1st and 10 Calhoun City. They're operating from around their own 30-yard line. As Corey Vance brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. Vance with the ball, rolling to his left. They'll take it himself, turns it up with a little daylight there. Finally knocked down by number 34 with a stop defensively, Chris Holland, a senior at 180. Holland's been busy this evening, defensively and offensively as well. Holland with a TD earlier. Second down situation here with about 8 yards to go for the first. That ball's going to be marked around the 33, 34-yard line. Wildcats on 33. Clock shows 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. We are coming to you this evening from Carter Field. This is Mitchell Johnson along with David Barnett and the entire TV7 sports crew. Vance off play action is hit and nailed. Fumble on the play, I believe. Vance wanted to throw the ball, could not get it away. We'll have to wait and see who has recovered the fumble. Officials rule the Wildcats will have possession. Number 74 in there with a big stop. That was Joe Berry. And David, I believe Vance cocked his arm back to pass the ball. He couldn't get it away. Big Joe Berry coming in there and just knocked the ball down.
He definitely did, you know, and I'd hate to be hit by Joe Berry out there myself because he's weighing about close to 300 pounds.
No question about that. And we'll bring up the third down situation here, and more than 10 to go for the first. That ball is spotted around the 30-yard line of Calhoun City.
I really think that's safe to say that Joe Berry's got a sack under his belt.
No doubt about that. Vance brings his team up once again, puts wide out to the near side, two to the near side, one to the far side. Give goes to 34 Pittman down the field. Kevin Pittman still on the field. First down and more. He is rocked in there as he is finally hammered down by number 5, Randy Armstrong. Nice run, however, by number 34, Keith Pittman. He's a junior 150. Plenty of room for the first down. Officials attending to a chin strap problem there by one of the Wildcat players. 1st and 10, Calhoun City. Operating from around their own 45, 46-yard line.
You know, Pittman has had several good carries, you know, but Vardaman just keeps knocking on him and knocking on him.
1st and 10 Wildcats. Vance on a draw to the second man through. This is Kevin Langford trying to find somewhere to go. He is hammered in there. And they only stop defensively with number 34, Chris Holland. Number 80 in there, Clay Spencer.
You know Armstrong is playing that defensive end. He's playing it so well out there. You know, it's hard for him to even try to get around him on the outside. He's containing, and when the running back comes out there, you know, he's nailing him.
Timeout on the field called by the Wildcats of Calhoun City. 27 seconds showing remaining in the first half. Again, it's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. And, you know, we're really looking forward to going to Houston next week to cover that Houston ball contest. We haven't covered a ball game for Houston this season.
No, we haven't, Mitchell, and we're looking forward to going too. You know, they only lost to Okolona by 2 points, I believe.
I believe that's right. And Okolona is ranked one of the top schools in the, in the small school division in the state, I believe. So Houston evidently has a very good team this year. Looking forward to that contest. We'll be at Houston next Friday to cover that game. Wildcats break huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Ram defense set. Vardaman's on a 4-4 defense. Vance wants to throw. Passes away. It's complete. Number 10. Side sets one would-be defender. And is hammered down. It only stopped with number 11 for the Rams. That was Lee Hoskins. Number 10, Matt Knight with the reception for the Wildcats. Calhoun City calls one more timeout with 14 seconds showing remaining in the first half now. Brings the third down about 5 yards to go when we resume play. We're going to take a station break. You stay with us. You're watching W07BN, your local sports connection. Back to action here, 3rd and 5 here for the Wildcats. Vance wants to throw. Passes away, it's up in the air and complete. Number 18 with a miraculous catch. That was Marcus Jennings. Finally coming down with the ball, plenty of room for the first down. Ball's going to be marked around the 30-yard line of Vardaman. Stop the clock with 7 ticks remaining in the first half as the chain crew moves the sticks across the way. 1st and 10, Calhoun City. With only 7 seconds showing remaining in the half. Corey Vance and company set to go here. Clock is in motion now. 4 seconds showing and the clock is running. Vance throws the ball out of bounds with 1 second showing remaining in the first half. We're going to wait and see what the officials say here. Clock shows 0.00 on the time clock. I believe they're going to put 1 more second up there. Have to wait and see. Officials waving it off, so that's the end of the first half of play. Excitement's in the air, and this crowd is alive. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. We'll be right back momentarily with some halftime entertainment by the Calhoun City High School Marching Band. Stick around.
Can if you want to. Are we all? Are we stopped? That's all right.
We played for two. That's right. We stand to play ball. We were wrong to spend money.
Nice round of applause for the Calhoun City High School marching band as they make their way off the field on the near side. Again, we are at the half. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. And David, it's been a very interesting first half. Vardaman finally got to wrestle some of that field position away from Calhoun City, but they recovered a fumble, I believe, around the 5-yard line to capitalize on the fumble recovery deep in Wildcat territory.
You know, that's exactly right, Mitchell. I think it was like about the 3-yard line, somewhere around in there, and I believe it was Chris Holland. He just carried the ball in, you know, powered it in, and it wasn't no stopping it or denying him. He was fixing to get in there one way or the other, and that's made all the difference in the games, those fumbles.
No doubt about that. The heat has not really taken that big of a factor because we have had several official timeouts on the field to take care of maybe the muscle cramps or what have you. Plenty of liquids on the field, and that's something you need in this humidity and heat the way it is tonight.
You know, you're exactly right. Even though there is a little bit of breeze blowing out here, but you know it's a hot breeze blowing, and it's probably in the 90 degrees, 90, 95 degrees out here now.
That's exactly right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the second half of play. Stay right where you are.
I'm gonna go sit up there if I can.
There's a little bit of halftime entertainment with the Vardaman cheerleaders. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In Vardaman, where the Rams are leading the Wildcats of Calhoun City at the half by a score of 7-0. We have the captains meeting at midfield. I believe we'll start the second half of play with the Wildcats receiving the kick. Is that correct, David? We'll have to wait and see. I believe Vardaman received the opening game kickoff. That is correct. Calhoun City will receive the kick to begin the second half. While we have the time, on a personal note, once again, I would like to say hello to Deidre and Aaron and my wife, Joy. I love you all.
Everybody get settled back in.
7-0. Vardaman Rams leading the Calhoun City Wildcats at the half. And there's the horn. We're all set to begin the second half of play. Wildcat receiving corps on the field. Back to receive the kick for Calhoun City. Looks like number 12, Jonathan Lee. Number 18, Marcus Jennings, back there as well. Deep backs. Up backs number 34, Keith Pittman, as well as number 42, Manuel Jackson. Number 10 back there as well, Matt Knight for Calhoun City. Teeing the ball up for the Rams of Vardaman will be number 54, Ryan Winters.
Ryan Winters to kick off for the Rams. Marcus Jennings. And Jonathan Lee back deep for the Wildcats.
7-0. Vardaman with the lead at the half over Calhoun City. Winters getting his footwear ready there to start the second half of play. Winters approaches the ball, and the second half is underway. Kicks on squib off to the left side of the field. And eventually roll out of bounds, I believe. Let it redo it once again. 5 yards deeper.
Out of bounds.
Ryan Winters will kick this one this time from his own 35-yard line. Well, David, one thing about it, we don't have a problem with the bugs that we've had on a couple of occasions when it was so hot on these Friday nights.
You know exactly right. The town of Vardaman must have sprayed for these things before the game tonight because I think who was it? It was it Bruce? It was at Bruce that night. It looked like it was snow up around the lights.
We've had problems with them at Bruce and Calhoun City too. We've had problems with them at both places, but not here this evening.
I think these lights may have a little bit to do with it, Mitchell. The lights that they've got here is sort of like a fluorescent lights, yeah.
It very well could be. I'm not familiar with anything about as far as the lighting system is concerned, but you could be right. Ryan Winter approaches the ball once again, and the kick is away. Knuckleball. Penalty flag across the way. So we're going to have an offside call here against Vardaman. So everybody's determined here that we're not going to get the second half underway in any hurry. Offside against Vardaman. While we have the time, we'll go to Angel Barfield with a sponsor timeout.
Thank you, Mitchell. Sponsoring tonight's game for Calhoun City Wildcats, Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsoring for the Vardaman Rams are Cole's Jewelry, GNS Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone, Parker Memorial, Fred's of Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Back to you, Mitchell.
That was number 12, Jonathan Lee, on the kick return for the Wildcats. He moves the ball up to around the 45-yard line, I believe, of Calhoun City. Maybe farther than that. The ball's going to be spotted here. Around the 46. Calhoun City in possession, 1st and 10. If you joined us late, we're just getting underway with the second half of play. Clock shows 11 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. Vance wants to throw on first down. Passes away, it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 18, that's Marcus Jennings.
You know, Mitchell, there wasn't really no reason for him not to catch that ball because it was right there in the numbers, and he should have, the only thing I can figure out is maybe it just bounced off his shoulder pads or maybe his knee one.
They bring up a second down here, and once again, 10 yards to go for the first. Ball is spotted around the 46-yard line. Wildcats on 46 as Corey Vance brings his team up. 2 wide outs across the way, one to the near side. Split backfield formation, 2-man set. Vance on the delayed draw to Pittman up the middle. Keith Pittman down the field in Ram territory. He's finally knocked down around the 35-yard line. Nice piece of running by number 34, Keith Pittman. Tailback, 150 pounds, and he's a junior. David, he's definitely got the speed up the middle.
He sure has, Mitchell. You know he can cut so well also.
1st and 10 Wildcats. They'll be operating from the 35-yard line of Vardaman. Number 3 comes into the game for the Wildcats. That's Shane Cook. Flanker, he's a 155 sophomore. So he brings in the play from across the way. And relation to quarterback Corey Vance. Vance will give the first man through. Kevin Langford off the left side, and he is hammered in there after a pickup of about 2 or 3. And only stopped defensively was number 14, Rob Easley, as well as number 12, Neil Wesley. Penalty marker down. Have to wait and see what this one's all about. Face mask call against the Rams. I believe that's a major penalty assessment, too. Is that correct, David?
I believe so. Mitchell's probably about 15 yards.
Major blow here being struck to Vardaman with the face mask penalty. As we await the yardage to be marked off there by the official. Wildcat supporters happy about it across the way. It'll be a first down here. That ball's going to be spotted around the 20, I believe, of Vardaman.
You know, that's something that a coach really don't like to see neither, because that's needless to say, it's something that shouldn't even happen.
1st and 10 Calhoun City from the 20-yard line of Vardaman. Corey Vance with the give to Langford on the left side. Penalty marker down. Langford off the left tackle. Pick up a yard or 2 on the carry. Have to wait and see what this was all about. Illegal procedure call against the Wildcats. Officials discussing Rams options there with the defensive captains on the field.
There's probably no doubt the coach is going to want him to move it back.
still be first down here, but with 15 to go for another first. 24, 25-yard line of Vardaman where the ball is spotted. Corey Vance with the keeper off the right side. Vance taking himself up the field. Corey Vance still on his feet, finally dragged down by a host of Ram defenders. As he might have got up to the original line of scrimmage. I don't know from this angle. Hard to tell. Can make up a second down here. Well, it looks to be about 8 yards to go for the first. Clock is on the move with 10 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 0. Wildcats break huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. Number 1, Corey Vance with the signal calling duties for the Cats. Delayed draw to Pittman. He is caught in the backfield and dragged down. Big stop defensively by number 74, Joe Berry. Tackle 295, and he's a senior.
You know his number's been called a lot tonight. You know, Mitchell, for him to be 295 pounds, he's so quick to get back there in the backfield and tackle one of those guys before he can even get up to the line of scrimmage.
No doubt about it. This Berry has really got the speed to be somebody of his size, 295 pounds.
You know, if Joe keeps going like he's going this year, too, you know, it's probably going to be a lot of scouts looking at him, and could Berry possibly go to one of the major colleges in the state.
3rd and 10 here for the Wildcats of Calhoun City. Wide out to the 2 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the far side. Vance wants to throw, passes in and out of the hands of number 18, Marcus Jennings. Incomplete. That'll bring up the 4th down. We'll just wait and see here what coaches Pope and Downs elect to do in this situation. Are operating from Ram territory, about the 19. What do you think, David? Maybe a field goal attempt coming up, perhaps? What do you think?
Mitchell's hard to say. I feel like they're probably going to go for it. You know, they're down there around, what is it, the 20-yard line, something like that, and it's 4th down. They tried a field goal earlier, and it was blocked, and they're down 7 points, and it's 9:26 left in the third quarter, so they are going to go for it.
You're exactly right. 4th and 10. Wildcats have elected to go for it here. Vance wants to throw, passes away. It's going to be complete. Touchdown, touchdown, Calhoun City. Number 18, Marcus Jennings.
You know, and that ball was put right there in those numbers too, Mitchell. That ball could not have been passed no better than it was then. So you have to hand that to Corey Vance, putting that ball right in there with a guy coming across the middle. And, you know, there just wasn't anybody there to cover him, and he caught the ball and scored the 6 points.
He really put the ball on the money, no question about it.
This is turning out to be a fantastic game.
7, Vardaman, 6, Calhoun City. Extra point coming up here. Attempt by Jonathan Lee. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. And it's true. Jonathan Lee comes on to tack on the extra point. We have a tie ball game. Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7 in the third quarter with 9:20 remaining.
So it looks like we're just going to start this thing all over again.
That's the way it looks, David. We'll be right back momentarily. Stay with us. You're watching a sports presentation of W07BN, your local sports connection. Back to action now. All set to kick the ball away for the Wildcats. Number 72, Tim Evans. Evans approaches the ball, and the kick is away. Squib kick coming to the left side, going to sail out of bounds. And we'll re-kick this one again, David. What do you think about it?
Well, you know, they playing seesaw back and forth. One fumble, the other fumble, and one kick it out of bounds, the other kick it out of bounds. One score, the other score, so who knows?
With all this seesaw going on, we're going to take it to Angel Barfield with a sponsor timeout.
Sponsoring tonight's game for the Calhoun City Wildcats, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone. Sponsoring for Vardaman are Cole's Jewelry, G&S Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone, Parker Memorial, Fred's of Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Back to Mitchell.
Evans all set once again to boot the ball away for the Wildcats. Tim Evans approaches the ball, and the kick is away. Right down the middle of the field this time. This will be number 12 on the kick return, Neil Wesley. Wesley trying to follow a block there right in the middle of the field. Wesley still on his feet up around the 34, 35-yard line of Vardaman. And that's where the Rams will set up shop 1st and 10. Tackle was made by, among others, number 23, Mickey Knight at flanker, 155, and he's a sophomore. Joined us late, we're in the third quarter. Clock shows 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. We are coming to you from Carter Field in Vardaman. Number 78 leaving the game offensively for the Rams. That's George Tedder.
Massey quarterback.
Senior at 2'10".
Randy Armstrong in the backfield.
Luke Massey with the signal calling duties. Give goes to the first man through.
Armstrong on the carry, again a 4.
Number 5, Randy Armstrong, running back 195, junior on the carry. Pick up maybe 3 or 4 yards on that carry. Bring up a second down situation here. We'll call it about 6 to go for the first. Ball's going to be marked around the 38-yard line of Vardaman.
You know, that's another thing, too, Mitchell, about Randy Armstrong. You know, he's seen a lot of play last year, and he's got some exceptionally good speed also. So, you know, these guys are pretty evenly matched in the backfield on both teams.
15, Kenny Garauchik checking into the game for the Rams. Wide out, 140. He's a freshman. As Massey calls that signal, drops back in the pocket to throw under pressure here. He's going to take it himself now. Massey runs into a blocker, but does manage to get some yardage out of the play up to around the 43-yard line. Going to be a yard or 2 shy of the first down, I believe.
You know, Mitchell, that looks similar to what we used to call the Bulldog Blitz back in, what was it, a few years back?
Yeah, several years.
Yeah, Calhoun City, they just blitzed in there, and, you know, he had to put it down because they were all over him.
That's going to bring up the third down situation here, and then a couple of yards to go for the first. Clock continues to move with 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Luke Massey with signal calling duties. Wide outs left and right. Massey with a give to the first man through. Randy Armstrong first down with men to spare. Armstrong up to around the midfield stripe. Armstrong, a junior at 195. 1st and 10, Vardaman. Number 80 checks into the game for the Rams. Clay Spencer, tight end. He's 210 pounds. He's a senior. First and 10, Rams. Massey with a give to the first man through. Pick up of a couple yards on that carry. Drop the middle of the pack. Number 12 on that carry, Neil Wesley, running back 160 senior. Leaving the game offensively, number 11, Lee Hoskins, wide out 145 junior. 2nd and 9 here for Vardaman. Ball is spotted around the 49-yard line of Calhoun City. 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the first. Massey with the signal calling duties. Pitch back goes to Armstrong, trying to sweep on the right side. Armstrong following his blocks down the field. Dodging will be tackled down to around the 45-yard line of Calhoun City. Followed a couple of blocks, but David, I believe he was fortunate to be able to pick up those couple of yards that he did that time.
You know, you're definitely right, Mitchell. He did most of that all on his own, you know, dodging people because they had him in the backfield back there, and all he could do was just do what he could on his own because, you know, Calhoun City come off that defensive line and the secondary come up, you know, they seen it all the way.
Entering the game for the Rams, 78, George Tedder. He's a center at 210. He's a senior. 3rd down situation here. And what looks to be about 5 yards to go for the first. Vardaman operating from Wildcat territory on the 45. Give inside, give goes for no gain if any, little gain if any. Number 12 with that carry, Neil Wesley, up the middle with no appreciable gain. Official timeout on the field. We're going to take a station break just a minute. You stay with us. You're watching W07BN with its affiliates in Channel 5 in Houston and Channel 2 in Water Valley. We'll be right back. And winner back to receive for the Wildcats, number 18, Marcus Jennings. Winner gets a good snap back and the kick is away. Over to the right side of the field. Going to roll dead there, and we can't tell where from this angle. Possibly around the 15-yard line. No way to tell from this angle. 15, 20, somewhere along that area. In any event, that's where the Wildcats have put the ball in play, 1st and 10. Operating from inside their own 20-yard line. Clock shows 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. As the Wildcats break huddle now and come to the line of scrimmage. Number 1, Corey Vance with his signal calling duties. Puts 2 wide outs across the way, one to the near side. Vance with inside give to the first man through, but it's Kevin Langford on that carry. Langford is a tailback, 175 senior. Pick up of about 3 yards. Bring up his 2nd down. We'll call it 7 to go for the first. pick up maybe 5 yards on the previous carry, bring up a second down situation here and about 5 to go for the first. As Vance sets his offense. Inside give goes once again to Langford off the left side. Not as much running room this time, if any. Langford finally going rough and tough there on the left side. Easley and Wesley in there on the stop defensively. Bring up the third down situation. And about 3 yards to go for the first.
James Elvis Bellingham, you're needed at the concession stand.
Vance for the give on the near side to Keith Pittman, but not much running room there. And guess who, David? Joe Berry in there with a stop defensively.
You know, Joe has been all over that field tonight. In the backfield, over on the other side. He's just been all out there. Joe really came here to play ball tonight.
Official timeout on the field. Be close to a first down. May require the chain crew to come on here.
You know, his daddy probably told him something. Look, boy, I can hear him talking now. You get out there and knock some of them Wildcats' heads.
Oh, Ira's all right, isn't he? I tell you
Ira's
what.
a good fellow.
He really is.
You know, you don't have friends like him every day.
No question about that. Fourth down is short here for Calhoun City. Operating from their own territory around the 30-yard line, I believe. Back to kick it away for the Wildcats, number 1, Corey Vance. Vance gets a good snap back, an end-over-end punt. The 31, Atkinson tries to field it, fumbles the ball around his own 30, recovers it there, and dives forward to around the 39. And David, I believe that's just a heads-up play there by Atkinson to be able to follow on the ball without losing the ball.
You know, it definitely was, and he had a little bit of judgment there to sort of lunge with the ball, and get maybe 5 more yards out of it.
It'll be 1st and 10 Vardaman. They'll start this drive from around their own 41-yard line. Relatively good field position for the Rams. 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. Wildcat defense set as the Rams break their huddle now, make their way up to the line of scrimmage. Corey Vance puts the wide out to the near side, working with the I formation in the backfield. 2-man set. Pitch back goes to Armstrong, fumbles the ball. And they wise to just fall on it there. Be a loss of about 5 yards on that play or more. Bad pitch back that time. Bring up a second down situation here. And about 17 yards to go for the first. The ball's going to be marked around the 35-yard line. Vardaman's on 35. Leaving the game offensively for the Rams, number 14, Rob Easley.
Get a pretty good shot there. The cheerleaders also, can't be enough said for those cheerleaders because they keep the spirit up of these boys playing out there. And, it's just not enough said about them in any game.
No doubt about that. Massey wants to throw. Pass to Armstrong is complete down the far sideline. Armstrong working his way down the field. First down yardage was 20 to spare. I believe they'll take that back. Perhaps not a first down. Up to the original line of scrimmage, I believe. Some yard markers mixed up there. We have to wait and see where that ball is going to be marked. I believe it's going to be spotted around the 43-yard line of Vardaman. Third down situation here with about the 9 yards to go for the first. As 14, Rob Easley checks back into the game for the Rams, as does Kendall Atkinson. 80, Clay Spencer comes to the near sideline for Vardaman. Third and 9 here for the Rams. As Luke Massey sets his offense, I formation in the backfield. Massey drops back, wants to throw, airs it out, pass is incomplete. Over the outstretched arms of 14, Rob Easley. The intended pass receiver, Easley is a senior, 195. Fourth down situation here, and again 9 yards to go for the first. Punting situation for Vardaman. David, I believe you spotted an open receiver that time down here. Is that correct?
Mitchell, right after the ball was passed, I looked across the field. He may have had one man on him, but it looked to me like number 11 there, Lee Hoskins, who was wide open over on the other side of the field.
Back to receive the kick for the Wildcats, 18, Marcus Jennings. Ryan Winter back to punt it away for the Rams. Gets the snap back, and the kick is partially blocked, but he does get it away. Ball's going to roll down inside around the 20-yard line, I believe, of Calhoun City. And that's where the Wildcats put the ball in play, 1st and 10. Here's Angel Barfield with a sponsor timeout.
Before I say the sponsors, I want to tell everybody Northwest was victorious over Holmes 21-10 last night. Sponsoring for the Calhoun City Wildcats tonight, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsors for the Vardaman Rams tonight are Cole's Jewelry, G&S Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone Company, Parker Memorial, Fred's of Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Now back to Mitchell.
Second down, about 9 yards to go. Gain of maybe a yard on the previous carry. Vance sets his offense, working with the same set offensively. Wants to throw. Over the middle, pass is incomplete. Intended for number 3, Shane Cook, a sophomore at 155. Cook had it in his hands momentarily, could not make the reception. Bring up the third down, and once again, 9 yards to go for the first. Wildcats break huddle now, come to the line of scrimmage. Ram defense set. 3rd and 9 here for the Cats. Vance wants to throw once again. Pittman has got the reception. Sidesteps one would-be tackler. Trying to work his way down the field. Finally hit down by several Vardaman defenders. And on the stop once again was number 74, Joe Berry, defensively for the Rams. Number 80, Clay Spencer, checks into the game for Vardaman, as does 78, George Tedder. Replacing number 55, Steve Townsend, as well as number 65, Dwayne Pinson. Official timeout on the field. With a minute and 17 seconds showing remaining in the third quarter. Again, we are tied up 7 Vardaman, 7 Calhoun City. Checking into the game now for the Wildcats, number 10, Matt Knights. He brings into play. Also checking in for the Vardaman Rams defensively, number 9, Luke Massey. 4th down situation coming up here. And about 7 yards to go for the first. Back to receive the anticipated kick for the Rams, number 31, Kendall Atkinson. Number 1, Corey Vance for the punting duties for the Wildcats. Gets a snap back as the beauty. Spiral way down the field. Atkinson lets it sail over his head, and that ball is going to roll down inside the 20 to around the 17-yard line. And David, that's just an excellent punt on the part of number 1, Corey Vance.
You know, Mitchell, that's what every coach likes to see is that ball to spiral like that. You know, it's hard to feel at the other end because it's coming down in such an awkward position. And Atkinson was really probably really smart in getting out of the way of the ball because it had real good hang time on it.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. They'll start this drive deep in their own territory with 54 seconds showing remaining in the third quarter. Clock is on the move now with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Pitch back goes back to Atkinson, comes around the corner on the near side, and he is ridden down by a host of Wildcat defenders. 31, Kendall Atkinson on that carry. He's a senior, 175. That's going to bring up the 2nd down situation here. And about 4 yards to go for the first. Pick up maybe 6 yards on the previous carry. Official timeout on the field. As Kevin Langford a little slow about getting back to the defensive huddle here. Coach Keith Downs on the field to check out the injury. Langford making his way to the sideline across the way under his own power. He gets a nice round of applause. Checking into the game now for the Cats will be number 62 for Calhoun City, which is going to be Jeff Harmon. He's a senior at 225. 2nd and 4 here for Vardaman. Clock is on the move with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter now. Give goes up the middle there for about 3 or 4 yards on that carry. I believe we got enough for the first down. Clock ticks down, and there's the horn with the end of the third quarter of play. At Carter Field in Vardaman, it's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay right where you are. Quarter of play, and we have an injured Ram on the field. Number 53, Clay Walls, shaken up on the previous play. He's a senior, 150 pounds, and David, that's something you hate to see. Looks like it's the general area of the knee. Yep, Clay looks like he's in a little pain there.
You know, Mitchell, I can feel for him because I had knee surgery back on my knee right after high school, and I tell you what, if it's any kind of torn cartilage or ligaments one, you know, he's going to be in pain for a while.
We have Vardaman staff on the field there attending to the Clay. And while we have the time, David, we mentioned earlier some of these games going to be taking place tomorrow around the SEC. We've got Auburn taking on Fullerton State. I don't know anything about Fullerton State. Florida takes on Oklahoma State at Gainesville. Georgia takes on LSU. I'd like to see that one. That's going to be played at Baton Rouge. Kentucky faces Rutgers at East Rutherford in New Jersey. And Vanderbilt takes on SMU. They're in Dallas. So we have a full slate of action slated tomorrow for the Southeastern Conference. Mississippi State, of course, take on Tennessee on campus at Starkville. And I believe you corrected me earlier. I believe you said Ole Miss is going to be at Oxford. Is that correct? Right. Against Memphis State. And Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles will take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama in Birmingham.
I tell you, the game is going to be to watch, just like you said, the Georgia Bulldogs and the LSU Tigers. You know, that's going to be an outstanding game. Also, Mississippi State's going to be playing on national television tomorrow on WTBS.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me that. I might try to tune the Bulldogs in there.
But you know, Tennessee has had a few injuries there. It's probably going to come back to haunt them. They're one of their best running backs, probably one of the best running backs that's in the country now. He was hurt with a knee injury, and it was torn ligaments. I was reading in the paper today. And also they had another running back they put in there, and in practice he tore his ligaments, and he's also scheduled for surgery.
I tell you what, you get a few key players knocked out of your offensive backfield or in wideouts or anything along that nature. It's definitely going to have a big impact on the outcome of every team. No question about that.
You're exactly right. You know, and a lot of the editors and the writers in these papers and all are saying, you know, that maybe Tennessee is the backfield is haunted, you know, because they're coming up. Most of their backfield is getting hurt. Their running backs, that running back position, they're saying, you know, maybe it's jinxed. And Coach Johnny Majors, he said, you know, he don't believe in that. He don't believe in ghosts and he don't believe in jinx. You know, he just had to. It's just like he said that just when somebody dies, you know, you feel down, but you know, you just have to rebuild and go back and try to do better.
Again, if you joined us late, we are attending to an injury here. 53 Clay Walls on the part of Vardaman Rams. He's a senior at 150, and he is an injured player being attended to. Looks to be serious. Also to begin the fourth quarter of play is Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. Clay's going to be assisted off the field there with a nice round of applause. Again, that's number 53, Clay Walls, center, 150-pound senior.
You know, the way they got his shoe and everything off, you know, it looked like it could be maybe an ankle injury there.
Very easily could be, David.
Yeah, and you know, that could be very serious too, because once you turn one of those ankles and, you know, and maybe broke it or something like that, you know, it probably will never be right again. And you know very well about that. When the weather changes, he's going to feel it.
All the best wishes go out to Clay Walls, the injured player being attended to as he was assisted off the field. When we resume play, it'll be third down here. And a couple of yards to go for the first. Rams in possession, operating from their own territory. On around the 25-yard line, I believe.
Here we go.
Fourth and final quarter.
You know, and you can hear this crowd getting pumped up now, Mitchell. You know, they sat through that third quarter. It was kind of boring, but they're looking now. You know,
Kendall Atkinson just like turn the corner.
Just like across the way over at Calhoun City fans, you know, they're coming alive. It's 7-7, and this game is probably one of one of the premier games of the season. You know, it's always a big turnout at these games, and Calhoun City fans is probably some of the best friends in the country, probably. You know, and Vardaman is also. Any time that you have a turnout like we have here tonight, you know, you would think this is a state championship game.
No doubt about that. Capacity crowd on hand for these inter-county rivals. We had the capacity crowd on hand last week at D.L. Harrison Field at Calhoun City for that Bruce and Wildcat matchup. 4th down here. Punt is away. Nice punt there by Winters. 18 with the ball. He is blocked. Big stop defensively by number 71, Chris Haynes. Guard 175, and he's a junior. Nice play by Haynes.
You know, that shows real exceptionally good speed on Haynes' part, you know, and he shows that he knows how to open field tackle himself.
Wildcats will put the ball in play 1st and 10. They'll start this drive from their own 45-yard line. 11 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in regulation time period. We are in the 4th quarter. Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. We are coming to you from Carter Field in Vardaman. Vance sets his offense, working with a split backfield formation. Vance with the give, the first man through. It's Keith Pittman trying to turn the corner. Still on his feet. Keith Pittman driving down the field. Pittman now down the far sideline. Pittman sitting tackler, still on his feet, driving down the field. Nice run, nice pitch running by number 34, Keith Pittman. He's a tailback, 150, and he's a junior.
You know, Mitchell, that showed some real good speed. If there hadn't been a player there, he'd have been gone, no doubt. If he'd had maybe 10 more yards to the outside out there, there wouldn't be nobody to catch him.
That was really a nice run by Pittman, setting tackles. 1st and 10 Wildcats. They move the ball into Ram territory. That ball's going to be spotted around the 33-yard line. The Wildcats wanting to score here in the 4th quarter. We're tied at 7. Of course, the Rams wanting to hold. Corey Vance sets his offense, working with the same set offensively. Vance with the inside give goes to Kevin Langford. Follows this blocks well. Kevin Langford down the field. Finally tipped up by number 31, Kendall Atkinson. And once again, David, it's just another example of Kevin Langford following his blocks well.
Definitely was, Mitchell. You know that there was a hole opened up there that you probably could have drove. It's like they used to say back whenever we were practicing. You know, there was a hole there that you probably could have drove a Mack truck through.
Then we have another injured Ram down on the field. It looks like possibly number 22. I'm not sure. We don't have a listing for 20. Thomas Brooks, excuse me. Thomas Brooks is the injured player down for Vardaman here. And we have an official timeout on the field as the management comes on to attend to the injury here. We are in the 4th quarter, 10:27 showing. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. We're going to go to a sponsored break with Angel Barfield.
Thank you, Mitchell. Sponsoring Calhoun City Wildcats tonight, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's in Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsors for the Vardaman Rams, we have Cole's Jewelry, G&S Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone Company, Parker Memorial, Fred's in Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Here's Mitchell.
Kevin Langford on the carry on the previous play, and he was stopped in there by number 55, Steve Townsend. Tackle 225 junior. 2nd down here. We'll call it about 7 yards to go for the first. Checking into the game now for Calhoun City. And it's going to be number 23 for the Cats, Mikey Knight. 155, and he's a sophomore. 2nd 7 here for Calhoun City. Vance with the keeper on the left side. He is rocked in there by number 5, Randy Armstrong. He's junior at 195. Did manage to pick up a couple yards on the carry, however, bring up a 3rd down situation here. And about 3 yards to go for the first.
You know, Mitchell, getting back on these injuries and stuff, you know, it's unbelievable. We had no more injuries than we have tonight, as hot as it's been.
That's exactly right. Calhoun City knocking on the door inside the 10 of Vardaman. 3rd down here and about 4 yards to go for another first. Wildcats can get the first down without getting the touchdown. Vance with the give to Pittman on the right side. Pittman dodges, jukes and trying to get his way up to about 2 or 3 yards on that carry up here near the first down marker. We'll have to wait and see where the officials spot the ball to see if the Wildcats have earned the first down. And they have, evidently. It'll be first and goal to go here for the Wildcats of Calhoun City, knocking on the door here in the fourth quarter of play inside the 5 of Vardaman. 23, Mickey Knight checks into the game for the Wildcats, and he brings in the play from across the way from head coach Rudy Pope, assistant coach Keith Downs. First and goal to go here for the Wildcats. Quarterback sneak up the middle. Corey Vance with it, trying to get in, but he was stopped shy of the goal line, however. Vardaman playing some hard-nosed defense here along the goal line. It'll be second and goal to go here for Calhoun City once again, as Matt Knight checks into the game now for Calhoun City. 8 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's Vardaman 7, Calhoun City 7. Rams backed up against their own end zone. Wildcats knocking on the door here to take the lead in the fourth quarter. Vance with a give to Kevin Langford. Touchdown, Wildcats. 22, Kevin Langford, tailback, 175. He's a senior. He's a Wildcat workhorse, and he got the ball into the end zone to give Calhoun City the lead at 13-7, with the clock showing 7 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the ball game.
There again, Mitchell, give it to that offensive line. They just pushed Vardaman back, and Kevin Langford put it in there.
On to attempt the extra point for the Wildcats. Jonathan Lee. Official stops the play before Lee could get the extra point attempt underway. Like to wait and get the official ruling on the penalty here. Still waiting and ruling from the official. Offsides against Vardaman. We'll have another extra point attempt coming up here by Jonathan Lee. With the hole in there by number 1, Corey Vance. Jonathan Lee is a junior at 140. On to attempt the PAT. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's true right between the post. As Calhoun City takes the lead 14-7. With 7 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Here's Angel Barfield.
Sponsoring the Calhoun City Wildcats tonight, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsors for the Vardaman Rams are Cole's Jewelry, GNS Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone Company, Parker Memorial, Fred's of Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Here's Mitchell.
Teeing the ball up for the Wildcats will be once again number 72, Tim Evans, back deep to receive for the Rams of Vardaman. Number 31, Kendall Atkinson, as well as number 12, Neil Wesley. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. 7 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the ball game. Evans approaches the ball, and the kick is away. This will be Kendall Atkinson on the kick return. At the middle of the field. Atkinson still on his feet. Atkinson down the far sideline. This is Kendall Atkinson. 1 man to meet down the far sideline. Finally dragged out of bounds around the 35-yard line of Calhoun City. The Rams will be in business again from that point. That's just a great return of kick there by Kendall Atkinson.
It definitely was, Mitchell, and that's something that Calhoun City wasn't looking for. That may be enough to spark Vardaman to get back in this ball game and tie the game up even.
That ball's going to be marked around the 37-yard line, I believe, of Calhoun City. It'll be 1st and 10 Vardaman from that point.
This has definitely been a seesaw game, no doubt about it.
7 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the ball game. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. We're at Carter Field in Vardaman. Massey wants to throw, passes away. It's going to be complete 22, and he is really rocked in there. Ball is out of bounds. Let's just wait and see where the officials rule it, how they rule it. Officials going to spot the ball. Around the 36, 37-yard line of Calhoun City.
You know, Vardaman sort of looked out on that one because he fumbled the ball, you know, and it just happened to roll out of bounds.
2nd down, and once again, 10 yards to go here for the Rams of Vardaman. It's number 9, Luke Massey, brings his team up, sets his offense. Right out to the near side, split backfield. Massey wants to throw back cross field. Pass is going to be complete. 14, fumbles the ball. Ball's on the, still loose on the field. Big scramble for the ball. 14, Rob Easy was the intended pass receiver. Wildcats have recovered. Calhoun City fans erupt across the way. Rob Easley had the ball momentarily, and he had it knocked loose from him.
You know, it's been some exceptionally good licks on both teams tonight. You know, you got to give this game to the defense because they have really put that helmet in there where it needed to be.
No doubt about that. Wildcats for being business 1st and 10. Now we're operating from Vardaman territory on about the 48-yard line, I believe.
You know, however this game comes out, Mitchell, no matter what, you know, all the parents and the Calhoun County people has got to be pretty proud of both of these teams
No
tonight.
doubt about that. Corey Vance for the inside give to if not Kevin Langford on that carry. Keith Pittman perhaps on the carry on the right side for the Wildcats. Pick up a yard or two. Easy in there with a stop defensively, and Rob was a little slow about getting up. And David, he was the one that really took that shot on the previous play before that one.
I guarantee you he's got a few cobwebs up there at this point.
Number 3, Shane Cook enters the game for the Wildcats. Shane is a sophomore, 155. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go for the first here for Calhoun City. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the game now. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. Give goes on the left side there to Kevin Langford this time, I believe, for a couple of yards on the pickup. Yes, he is stopped in there by, among others, number 78, George Tedder, a senior at 210. Leaving the game defensively now for the Rams, 54, Ryan Winters. He's replaced by number 55, Steve Townsend. Official timeout on the field. 5 minutes, 59 seconds of operating time available in the ball game. It's Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. We'll return in just a moment. Stay with us. You're watching W07BN, your local sports connection. Back to action here. Wildcats in possession, 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Vance wants to throw, passes, batted away. Interception by number 34 for Vardaman. Chris Holland in there with the pickoff. A senior at 180. Nice play defensively by number 34, Chris Holland, running back, 180. He's a senior. The Wildcats turn the ball over on an interception.
You know, this game has really had the turnovers tonight, Mitchell. Fumbles, and I guess that's the first interception that we've seen tonight.
Well, I think you're right, David. We definitely have had plenty of fumbles up until this point, and that's our first interception that we have recorded. And the Rams will put the ball in play 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Clock is on the move now, 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the ball game. Vardaman needing to score here to tie it up. It's Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. Official stops playing. Timeout is called by the Rams of Vardaman. Coach Bray comes onto the field to discuss things with his offensive unit. We're going to turn that over to Angel Ballfield now with a sponsor timeout.
Sponsoring Calhoun City Wildcats tonight, we have Calhoun Apparel, Cagney's, Chandler's, Fred's of Calhoun City, Houston Building Supply, Hunter's Hollow, Patrick Mobile Homes, Cole's Jewelry, State Farm, Kelwood, Telecap, and Calhoun City Telephone Company. Sponsoring the Vardaman Rams, we have Cole's Jewelry, GNS Pharmacy, Weeks Supermarket, Calhoun City Telephone Company, Parker Memorial, Fred's in Calhoun City, Patrick Mobile Homes, Hunter's Hollow, Kelwood, Houston Building Supply, and Telecap. Here's Mitchell.
We're going to take a station break. You stay right where you are. Back to action now. Vardaman in possession, 1st and 10, operating from their own 46-yard line. Massey pitches back to Armstrong on the near side. Armstrong hangs on to the ball, gets up to the midfield stripe. Nice run by Randy Armstrong. Did a nice job that time of hanging on to the football. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the ball game. Checking into the game, 31, Kendall Atkinson. Right out 175, and he's a senior. 2nd down here. And about 6 or 7 to go for the first. Leaving the game offensively for the Rams, number 11, Lee Hoskins. He's a junior, 145. Number 9, Luke Massey sets his offense. Drops back here, wants to throw. Passes away. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for number 31, Kendall Atkinson. Nice coverage defensively that time, the defensive secondary, David.
Definitely was, Mitchell. The ball was underthrown just a bit. If it had been thrown maybe, 2 foot more, Kendall probably would have come up with it.
That's going to bring up the 3rd down situation. Once again, about 7 yards to go. Ball is marked just shy of the midfield stripe in Vardaman territory with 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, and the clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. Checking back into the game for the Rams, number 11, Lee Hoskins. He's a junior at 145. As he brings in the play from a near sideline. 3rd and 7 here for the Rams. Massey wants to throw once again. Passes away. It's complete to number 22 with a catch.
That was an exceptionally good catch also.
Enough room for the 1st down. Brooks is a junior at 150. 1st and 10, Vardaman. The ball's going to be spotted inside the 40-yard line of Calhoun City as the chain crew move the 6 across the way. 78 leaves the game defensively for the Cats. Sean Parker, a senior at 225. And number 11, Lee Hoskins, leads the game offensively for the Rams. 1st and 10, Vardaman. Massey working with the eye in the backfield. Wants to throw once again. Passes away, going for Atkinson. Atkinson looking over the wrong shoulder that time. Incomplete. Bring up a 2nd and 10. David, I believe Atkinson had a step or 2 on that defender that time. If that ball had been in the money, that might have been 6 points.
It's very possible, Mitchell. If he could have held onto the ball, it would have been 6 points all the way.
Massey working with the same set offensively, eye in the backfield, wide outs left and right. Massey with the inside give with nowhere to go. He is hammered in there. That play really fooled nobody. Number 12, Neil Wesley with a carry with nowhere to go. Running back, senior at 160. Third down situation here, and about 13 yards to go for the first. That ball's not going to be marked around the 43-yard line in Wildcat territory. 31, Kendall Atkinson checking back into the game for Vardaman as he replaces Lee Hoskins. 3rd and 13 here for Vardaman. Clock's on the move now with 3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the ball game. Massey drops to throw under a heavy rush, gets it away. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for number 5, Randy Armstrong. Massey really feeling the heat that time. By number 44, Bobby Kilgore. Had to unload it. Incomplete. And that'll bring up the 4th down, and once again about 13 yards to go for the first. Checking him back into the game, Lee Hoskins for Vardaman, replacing Kendall Atkinson. 74, Philip Morgan leaving the game defensively on the part of Calhoun City, across the way. Rams, of course, will be going for it here in the 4th quarter, down by a touchdown. Massey wants to throw, passes away, floater is caught. Number 5, Randy Armstrong with the catch. He's got enough yardage for the 1st down. So David, the Rams are still in business.
They definitely are, Mitchell. That ball was put right there, laid it right in there on top of, right in the middle of the secondary, and Mr. Armstrong come up with it.
One thing about it, when these teams have had to have it, they've gone to the well and they've came away successful on several occasions on 4th down. That ball's going to be marked around the 23-yard line in Wildcat territory. 3:05 now remaining in the game, and the clock is on the move. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. Rams driving down the field here. Give goes to number 12, Wesley on the carry off the left side. Nice pitch running by number 12, Neil Wesley. Running back, senior at 160. Nice pick up on that carry off the left tackle. Pick up about 8 or 9 on that carry. Bring up a second down and about 8 and 2 yards. Second and 2 to go for the first. Clock still continues to move. 2 minutes and 34 seconds now remaining in the game. Rams need the score here to tie the ball game up. Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 7. Massey sets his offense, wide outs left and right, eye in the backfield. Give goes to Will Leslie once again off the left side. I believe he got enough yards for the first down. Didn't need much. I believe he got enough for the first. Will be 1st and 10 for Vardaman as the chain crew move the sticks on the far sideline.
You know, this goes back to the old saying, never say die.
No doubt about that. It's been a very, very exciting game this evening. Checking into the game for the Rams now is Rob Easley, a senior at 195. Ball is marked around the 12-yard line of Calhoun City. Give goes to the first man through on the left side. That was Neil Wesley driving for yards. Wesley, running back 160. He's a senior. Clock continues to move here, and the clock is going to become a factor here, David, on this last drive with only 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Well, you know, there's no doubt about it, Mitchell. And me and you anticipated this whenever we first come up here. You know, we was talking about it would probably come down to the wire this year between Vardaman and Calhoun City. Calhoun City has been so dominant in the last 5 years, but Vardaman has come along and they have rebuilt this team. And, you know, both of these teams, they need a real big hand tonight because both of them played really well.
Massey sets his offense here, wants to throw, passes away, it's complete. Touchdown, Rams. 14, Rob Easley. Tight end, senior 195. Came away with a circus catch in the end zone. Put the score on the board. Great catch on the part of Rob Easley, David.
Definitely was, Mitchell. You know, the defender took the ball away from him, but he had already crossed the plane to the goal line. So, you know, it's a score, no doubt about it.
It's Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 13. All important extra point coming up here with 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the ball game. On to attempt the extra point will be number 54, Ryan Winters, a senior at 220. Hold by number 9, Luke Massey. Penalty marker down. Have to wait and see what the official ruling is here. Perhaps a delay of game call. We'll just have to wait and see. But I believe might be working against Calhoun City. What you do here, Coach? Go for 2 or go for the tie?
You know, that's a hard decision, Mitchell, because the way this defense of Calhoun City has been playing so well, you know, and we talked about defense all night long. I guess they're going to go for 2, but, you know, I'll probably go ahead and go for the tie.
I believe Coach Bray is putting in his offensive unit, as you stated. The Rams been going for the win here. Going for the 2-point conversion. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining in the ball game. Again, it's Calhoun City 14, Vardaman 13. Excitement's in the air. These fans are on their feet. Vardaman going for the win here. Rams come to the line of scrimmage. Number 9, Luke Massey. Sets his offense. Give goes to Randy Armstrong. Up and over. He's in there.
Randy Armstrong close to top.
Make his way into the end zone.
Look, there's still a minute and 14 seconds left in this game. Anything can happen, you know. Don't count your chickens before the hatches, they say.
Amen. No doubt about that. You got to admire the guts of Coach Mark Bray and Clay Dougherty to go for the 2-point conversion, go for the win instead of the tie.
Well, you know, that's a decision they had to make, you know, and that penalty made all the difference because they were going to go for the tie.
It's Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14. 1 minute, 14 seconds showing remaining on the clock in the ball game. We're in the fourth quarter of play.
But don't forget how Calhoun City scored their first touchdown. They drove down the field with passes in a matter of no time and scored that touchdown, if you remember.
That's exactly right. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're not going to carry you to the station break. We're not going to carry you any kind of timeout. We're going to keep it right here. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining. Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14.
You know, Mitchell, if you could take the adrenaline that's flowing in everybody's bodies right now, you could probably fill up this whole football field.
We get a good shot of the moon there, and then we get a good shot of the scoreboard as well.
You have to hand it to little old Rob tonight. He's done a real good job.
Absolutely. Thumbs up to Rob Morgan.
Don't forget old little William over here on the camera either.
Stacy Spratling upstairs with a camera. Bill Morgan downstairs with one as well. Angel Barfield with our sponsorship as well. 54. Ryan Winters. Kick it away. Nice deep kick by Winters. This will be number 12 on the return for the Wildcats. This is Jonathan Lee. On his feet. He is hammered in there by a host of Ram defenders. And on the stop was number 78, George Tedder, as well as number 20, Boyd Walker. Walker, the sophomore, 175. Tedder, a senior at 210. Clock shows 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining now. Ball game on the line. Wildcats have to start deep in their own territory.
They definitely do, Mitchell. You know, they got to get something together pretty quick. Defense on both teams has played real well tonight, and this is something that everybody is enjoying this ball game. You know, hands goes out to every player on that field tonight.
An even minute remaining in the game now. Vance with penalty marker down, wants to throw, passes incomplete across the way on the far sideline. Intended for number 18, Marcus Jennings. Let's see what the penalty's all about here. Stop the clock at 53 seconds. Illegal procedure call against Calhoun City.
Now you can say the pressure is on the other foot. You know, if pressure was on Vardaman a while ago, they were down 7 points. They marched down the field and scored 8 and went ahead by 1. Now Calhoun City's got a pressure on them to go down the field and maybe try to go for a field goal.
Wildcats have a lot of real estate ahead of them before they even get into field goal range. That ball's marked around the 20-yard line, I believe. Wildcats on 20. 53 seconds remaining. Vance drops in the pocket, wants to throw, airs it out over the middle. Pass is incomplete.
You know, it didn't take but 4 seconds for that play to come about, you know, so they got plenty of time to march down the field if they can just complete some passes.
That's going to bring up a third down situation, and once again, 10 yards to go for the first. Clock shows 49 ticks now remaining in the ball game. Battle Royal at Carter Field in Vardaman. Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14. Corey Vance drops back again now, wants to throw under pressure, rolls to his right, airs it out, passes intercepted. 22 with a pickoff for the Rams down the far sideline. That's Thomas Brooks with a big pickoff for the Rams.
Just a matter of them running out the clock now.
And you can tell by these cameras shaking, this effect has had on this crowd. This crowd is alive. 40 seconds showing remaining in the ball game. Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14. Vardaman with possession in Wildcat territory. That ball's going to be spotted around the 20-yard line off Calhoun City, I believe. Of course, like you said, David, nothing's over till the fat lady sings. We can see an interception or anything happen right here.
There's no doubt about it, but you know, if the coaches are smart, they're probably going to try to run out the clock.
Clock is on the move now with 34 seconds remaining in the ball game. Rams with the 1-point lead. Massey just drops back and goes down to the field. I think we got to talk about once again the tremendous bravery on the part of Mark Bray and Clay Dowdy to go for a 2-point conversion.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You know, if it hadn't been for that penalty, they were definitely going for the tie. There's no doubt. The penalty just Mark Bray got to thinking about it, and he said, "Well, let's just go for the win, and we'll go for 2 points." And you know, you have to look at Randy Armstrong's ability to get across that goal line. He was probably he probably jumped at least 5 foot in the air and went across the top of the whole pack of them.
No doubt about that. Clock shows 17 ticks remaining in the ball game. Once again, on a personal note, hello to Deidre, Aaron, my daughters, and my wife, Joy. I love you all very much, and it's exciting over here in Vardaman tonight. 15 Vardaman, 14 Calhoun City from Carter Field.
No, we had the camera doing the little boogaloo then.
Electricity is in the air, no doubt about that. Second down here and 16 to go for Vardaman. With 17 seconds remaining in the ball game. Once again, Massey goes down and back 5 yards and goes down to the field. Clock shows 10 seconds remaining now. Countdown has begun. It's all over. The Vardaman Rams have defeated the Wildcats of Calhoun City. It's 15 Vardaman, 14 Calhoun City in a thriller.
Definitely, no doubt about it being a thriller. You know, and the crowd is showing their, I don't know what you would say, but anyway, they are out there. They going on the field. They're congratulating them boys as well as Calhoun City side. You know, there's no doubt about. There's no doubt about. There's no doubt about, you know, that that was a well-deserved victory on Vardaman's part, you know, and it took a lot of courage for Coach Mark Bray to go out there and get the 2 points. You know, that made all the difference in the world.
Had no question about that. We have a mob of fans on the field. Charlie Davis there with the cooler. He's going to try to cool somebody off with the cooler.
Get the cooler.
Coach Bray.
Get the cooler. The cooler. The cooler.
He's going to dump it on Coach Bray, and there he goes. Congratulations, Vardaman Rams. It's Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14, in a thriller. Next week, we're going to go into Houston to cover the Hilltoppers and Baldwin at Houston. We're going to sign off now. For David Ray Barnett and the entire TV7 crew, this is Mitchell Johnson saying so long from Carter Field. Once again, it's Vardaman 15, Calhoun City 14.
Week.